Who wants to be who's going to be our volunteer to practice a call with me? All right, I'll count down from 3. If we don't get any volunteers, then I'll pick a lucky representative. 3, 2, 1. All right, JC Santos.
Oh, I knew it. I already knew it. All right.
If you guys haven't seen, JC has a pretty solid. Do you have like a podcast?
Yeah. And I got accidentally TikTok famous. So.
Oh, nice. Boom. But what are you using TikTok for to get famous?
So I'm an MTI. I'm a drill sergeant or drill instructor. So it kind of happened through that. But all of my social media, I'm going to transition it to real estate. So
Nice. That's awesome. And you could even have like multiple channels and stuff. I'm sure you already know that, but for everyone else that doesn't realize that, like he could have his personal channel still. He has a lot of content on there, and he could actually then have his real estate one, and he can funnel people from the channel that he already has a lot of following on. He can funnel those people to his real estate channel. And so if he's, you said you're a recruiter?
MTI, drill sergeant.
Oh, drill sergeant. Okay, so he probably has a lot of military followers. Military people have the VA loan. VA loan is great for buying 0 down. So he can, every now and then, he can throw in a little blurb on that channel. Like, hey, check out my other channel where I can teach you how to, become a military millionaire in 5 years, something like that. And then boom, his brand new channel that has nobody following it is going to get those, 5,000-10,000 people, however many it is, from the other channel. And then people will start reaching out all over the country, all over the world, asking him questions about how to buy. Boom, he can, whatever state they're going to, doesn't matter if he's licensed there or not, he can send referrals to those states. And some people, that's all they do. They just make money off of referrals because it's a pretty good way to do it. You just sit back at your house, shoot some videos, answer some questions, and watch the money flow in. But anyways, back to our original topic already in play. So JC, do you want to be the buyer or do you want to be the agent?
Real quick, I had to switch from my phone to my laptop, so I kind of missed the initial.
So we're just going to do like a little cold call practice.
Okay.
Role playing, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
And you're going to play either the agent or the buyer, and then I'll be the other person.
Sure. Yeah, I'll be the buyer.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this JC Santos?
Yes, it's him speaking.
Hi, JC. This is War Morales. I'm with the Lola Hub Military Home Team with DXP Realty out on Oahu. I saw you were looking around on our website. I was just curious if there's anything I could do to answer any questions about moving to Hawaii, anything like that.
Actually, since you called, I was just kind of curious about the best areas to live in. I have kids, 2 daughters, and they're both in elementary school. So just trying to find like a good area for school for them.
Okay. So the location of the school is a big factor to you. What about your work? Where will you be working from?
I'll be working from home, remote.
Okay, nice.
So
how about
in a home office?
Mm-hmm. How about your spouse?
She's also a real estate agent, so she'll, I guess, work from home whenever she needs to go
Okay,
out.
very cool. How exciting. All right. So you said you have 2 daughters?
Yes.
And so what size house are you thinking you'll need for your family?
At least at the very minimal, a 3 or 4 bedroom house.
All right. So you're thinking like a room for like the master bedroom for you and your wife, a room for your office space probably, and then another bedroom for each of them.
Correct. They can share a room. However, down the road, definitely if they want to separate.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely good to have that flexibility. So if they want their own space, they can have their own. But Yeah, something to keep in mind when you're moving out to Hawaii is space is pretty limited. Houses are a lot smaller than on the mainland, but that's just something to keep in mind just for like expectations management. Um, and it just depends on really the price range you're going to be shopping in. So if if you have money coming out the wazoo, you can definitely get a good sized 4-bedroom house. But if you're working with a little more of a budget, 3-bedroom might offer you a better opportunity instead of having little tiny rooms. Um, so do you guys have any pets?
Yes, we have a dog.
Okay. Big dog, small dog.
He's a pit bull.
Oh, pit bull. Nice. That's good that you're buying because a lot of the bases around here on Oahu do not allow pit bulls. Um, some
Oh, really?
people some people kind of tiptoe around that rule and they say their pit bull is a German Shepherd, even though it doesn't look like one at all. But yeah, a lot of the bases they won't allow pit bulls because people say that pit bulls are aggressive or whatever. And so we got a lot of bases have put that rule into place. But when you buy a property, especially a single family home that doesn't have a real strict homeowners association, there's no rules like that. So good choice.
Is
Um,
are HOAs prevalent there? Because I'm in one right now, and I'm not a fan. So is that something that we could look into as well?
yeah, definitely. So HOAs are pretty common over on the west side in the EVA communities, both single family and townhomes, and then also in the Mililani area, which is kind of central near the Army base. And most of them don't have real strict rules about pets in particular. Like some of them will say you can only have up to 2 pets, stuff like that, but not as far as like breed and like all those details. They're usually not too strict on that, but we can definitely look into those details, and we can actually talk about we can set up a Zoom call for another time and go over all the details of the buying process. Because one of the big steps in the buying process is going through the M1 docs, which is the fancy name for the condo association documents. And so you'll get the full printout of all those rules, regulations, restrictions, and you'll be able to see what kind of rules are in place before before you close on the property, so you're not buying into a homeowner association that's going to be on your back all the time. That answer your question?
Yes, yes, appreciate it.
All right. So I feel like I have a good amount of information for you. So if you can just text me your email after we get off the phone. And then, yes, I'd like to set up another call with you if you're available next week sometime. We can do a Zoom, go through all the details, see what you think about the properties I've sent you up to this point, and also talk about the details of the house buying process. But in the meantime, I'm also going to connect you with our go-to lender. And so I'll send you a text message connecting you with that person. And then you can knock out the pre-approval process, because that's basically step 0 when you're buying a house. You didn't already go through the pre-approval process, did you?
Just started looking into it, but I am kind of leaning towards just kind of doing this on my own. I guess, would you refrain from doing that? Or I guess, since I have you on the phone, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay. So you're saying you're thinking about doing like seller financing or just
Or just
buying
looking
cash?
at, yeah, buying the home on my own, just going over there and just kind of figuring it out.
What do you mean without a realtor or
Correct. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that is an option. There is a lot of risk that comes with that. For example, you asked about the homeowners association, and were you familiar that there's the M1 period where you review the documents?
Um, Not necessarily, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, so there's things like that and tons more that I will be able to provide value to you by educating you on all those different steps, and as well as just the experience that I have with the negotiations. So if you approach a property that's represented by an agent, They're going to be applying their negotiation skills against you. And if you don't have a lot of experience with negotiations, you might end up paying 5 or 10% more than what you would if you were represented by an agent.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good. And so there is this buyer's representation agreement. People have different opinions on it. My personal approach is to build a relationship with you to where you're not going to want to work with somebody else. But there is this document saying once you sign it that you are my client, and if you work with somebody else, I still get the compensation for helping you. But like I said, that's my personal opinion. I don't personally use them because if you decide you don't want to work with me, then I really don't care, and you can work with another agent, because I want to work with people that because I consider this a really important process, because it's a life-changing decision, and so it is my goal to establish that trusting relationship with you, to where we're basically like friends. You want to bounce any ideas you have off me, you're welcome to do that. But yeah, overall, just want us to feel like we're a team in this process and not just a business transaction. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Do you think you can send that over if I could just read it?
Yeah, I'll send it over to you just so you can see what the contents are, but I'm not going to ask you to sign it. So
Okay.
yeah, just so you're aware of that document for future transactions, because some people will try to get you to sign that. All righty. So I'll look forward to, I'll send you a calendar invite for next Wednesday at 2 p.m. And then we'll go from there.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, JC. Have a wonderful day. All right. What critiques do people have for things that I said? Like as I was saying some things, I was thinking to myself, maybe I shouldn't say that because I might offend them or something. Like when I was talking about the pit bull, like, yeah, I can say some places don't allow pit bulls, but I don't have to bring up, yeah, because people say like pit bulls are aggressive, because he might be like, oh, this guy thinks pit bulls are aggressive. I don't like this guy because he doesn't like pit bulls. Things like that. But going through this practice helps you to recognize like those things that you might say. And so next time I'm talking to somebody and they bring up pit bulls, I'll say, yeah, some bases don't allow them. That's just an important thing to keep in mind. On to the next topic, instead of rambling on about all the he says, she says type stuff. What critiques do you have any critiques, JC?
Just on that subject, I do have a pit bull, but he's a service dog, so yeah. But yeah, no. I felt like it was kind of going too easy. That's why I kind of threw that curveball. It was kind of awkward, so I apologize.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's the best. Just like with physical training,
Yeah.
the best thing to do is to encounter something you haven't encountered before. Otherwise, if you're just like, oh yeah, I want to buy. Okay, are you good with me representing you? Oh yeah. Then like there's nothing learned there. But you present that question of, I don't know if I want a realtor. Like, you guys take a lot of my money, so I don't know if I want to use a realtor. And so I have to think through, all right, how am I going to navigate this? What scripts have I practiced, or what conversations have I had with people where I conveyed that it actually is very valuable to have a realtor representing you. So yeah,
That was good. You dropped facts about it and it kind of supported it. I think the only thing would have been just talking a little more in depth about the areas, kind of specific.
Oh yeah, because
That's how the conversation started. Other than
Mhm.
that, in my eyes, you checked all the boxes. Because my wife, she's in EXP too, but she's new. So all this, I've been like watching like kind of all the stuff happening to her, and I'm like, man, it's pretty difficult, really, to sometimes get a client.
Oh yeah. Yes, especially because there's, depending on the area you're in, there's so many agents.
Yeah, San Antonio.
Probably similar to here. There's like 6,000 or 7,000 on Oahu.
Mhm.
So yeah. But all right. Got about 10 or 15 minutes left, just enough time to get a rep in or two. So I'm gonna break everyone into groups. Let's do 4. So then there'll be 2 people spectating, Try to keep the conversation to about like 4 minutes, so then you can do a quick minute of debrief, and then switch to the other two people who did not practice yet, and then we'll bring you back in right at 9:30. Talk about some learning points, and then that'll be it for the day. You guys ready? All right, so we have 43 people in here. 43 divided by 10 is 4.3. So some group is going to have a fifth person, so it's okay. You're going to see a button pop up. Just click accept to join that talking group. Matthew Nwachukwu.
Sorry, I got kicked out of my room.
Oh, no worries.
I was in 5, I think.
Okay. Let me see. Assign to room 5. There you go. Lawrence Hooper, Dave Ackley, RA. I don't know if that's short for Ra. Matthew Nwachukwu and A. Scott. Maybe you guys aren't at your computer or your phone. If you are there and you don't feel like going to the room you're assigned, we can also practice right here. Up to you. Alrighty. Hey, Madeline.
I got kicked out of my meeting room. I was on meeting room 9 in meeting
Okay.
room 9.
I'll put you back in there.
It's because I tried to turn on my camera and then it like kicked me out.
Okay, there you go. Meeting room 9. Hello. Hey, Veronica. Seems like your audio is working fine.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, hi, sorry. There's not much signal.
Oh, okay. No worries. Were you in a group practicing or did you just hop on a
Yes, I
meeting?
was in the other one, but somehow it just disconnected. I don't have great service because I'm not in the US right now,
Oh, okay.
but I was
If you
still
want,
trying to join.
if you want, we can do a quick practice right here. There's only like 3 minutes left until everybody comes back.
Okay.
All right, so I'll be a buyer that we just bumped into each other at a cafe at Starbucks, and
Okay.
you like maybe overheard me talking with somebody that I wanted to buy or something. So go ahead. Never mind. She just disappeared. Hey, Jenny.
Yes, hello.
How'd it go?
It was good. I think the guys had problems with their computers. But it was good. I just did kind of like what you did. And I went over on the Glow internship that I guess have scripts at the bottom. I was looking at them today.
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's lots of scripts there. Like if you feel like you're running out of scripts to use, just Google real estate scripts. There's plenty out there.
Yes.
But again, it's just a matter of having a conversation. Because some people get a little too fixated on the scripts. But the scripts are just like tools to, it's basically like a dictionary of words and phrases to use and ideas. So that when you're having a conversation, like, so somebody who reads a lot or like practices scripts a lot has a much bigger vocabulary than someone who never reads. And you can tell when you're when you're having a conversation with somebody that reads a lot, they're using these words that you've never heard of, and you're just like, what's going on?
I probably found the person that doesn't read a lot. Probably like, ooh.
Yeah. But it's all just a matter of getting that practice in and growing that real estate vocabulary.
Yeah, that's true. How's Hawaii?
It's amazing, as always.
I missed it. I just left in November.
Oh man, you should move back.
I want to. I want to. I miss it so much. San Diego is cold.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
It's been pretty chilly here. It's been like in the low 70s.
That's pretty cold for Hawaii.
Yeah. Raining a good amount.
What
All right.
part do you stay in? Sorry.
Windward side in Kailua.
That's pretty. That is
Yeah.
really nice.
I don't know if you've read Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's in that book or in one of his like videos or something, but you have to ask yourself, how can I blank? Like afford a house in Hawaii. How can I afford a house in Hawaii? Because that opens up your mind to figuring out ways to do it. Whereas a lot of people say like, "Oh, buy a house in Hawaii, you crazy?" It's or in San Diego, so expensive. Like I can't do that. And so when you say I can't, it immediately shuts down the creative, motivated side of your brain, and you're just like, right, there's just a wall there that I cannot go past.
Yeah, that that book was definitely a good read. It actually motivated me to buy a home.
Nice, it's awesome. All right, I'm gonna close out all the rooms, bring everybody back. Hopefully, I don't cut off any conversations. I'll give them 60 seconds, I guess. So how would you guys think of that? Logan, John, Jethro?
We did good. We did Hawaii also, me and Jethro, since we're both here.
Oh, nice.
I tried to throw him a curveball as the buyer, giving him a 6 month to a year timeline. And also I was like, well, I think I'm going to work in Kaneohe. I think she's going to work in Kapolei. So, put us somewhere central. And, but he was very receptive of it. And he was like, cool, we have a lot of time to work with this. And I can start showing you properties. And we were also talking about our experiences with cold calls and how it's never personal enough. You always just feel like if you weren't there and you're ready to spend money right then and there, they're like, okay, well, get back to me when you are.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, and making the difference, like, or being the person that you wish that person would have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just
Instead of
like as soon as he asked me, personal questions, and he just made it more than a business call or a call.
Yeah, exactly. That's the key right there, building that relationship. Because whether you choose to use buyer reps or not, like you want it to be an enjoyable experience. Otherwise, you know what I mean. You could be replaced by an AI robot if you're just a button that clicks buy or sell or next house. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what he said. He said sometimes the script feels too robotic.
Yeah, I was dropping in and out, guys. Sorry, but yeah, I think I know what you guys are talking about. We were talking about how the script, from the training, all the questions that that is on there, what we just did.
I think we lost Jethro.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. See if he comes back in. But what everybody else think of the training? Any big takeaways?
I mean, I thought it was definitely helpful to do that because that was the first time I did the role play, and you can definitely, like you said, hear yourself say some stuff that you're like, that probably isn't what I should have said. So you can like redo that, if you keep doing that and practicing it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, exactly. And like that was 10 minutes right there. Probably like actual 5 minutes of actually practicing once you figured things out. And just imagine all the reps that you can get if you do this every day for like an hour. You find a partner to do it with. Imagine how much better you'll be in just a week.
Yeah.
Or are you gonna say, Jethro? You cut out. I think you're back now.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was cutting in and out, but yeah, I was just saying about knowing what's on the script, and what me and Logan were doing. I wasn't using the script in the back of my head, knowing what question to ask, and we just had a normal conversation. And he threw that screwball in there about 6 months, so the call wasn't too long, but it was definitely like to the point. Got all the information I needed. And then after the call, we talked about, having 6 months, that's like some good time to prepare for the arrival and to kind of build some rapport ahead of time. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's important to have kind of like what JC did when we were practicing. It's important to have those curveballs because, like, if you're both looking at the same script, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gaining much because you're just reading to each other. But if you get throwing those curveballs where it forces you to think, that's when the growth really happens. Any other feedback from people? You guys think this was beneficial? You guys want to do this again in the future?
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Do you think we could do like a training if everyone else thinks there's value added of like dealing with somebody who's really not interested or they're like borderline?
Yeah, definitely.
Specifically to that, like maybe someone write a script to someone like the buyer or seller that's like borderline or they're just not interested, and then we just need to work on kind of like what we're gonna do to try to get them on our side, kind of thing.
Yeah, let's do that. And have like a more extended presentation period. Is that what you're thinking too?
Yes.
Like a 10 or 15-minute conversation instead of like 5 minutes.
Yeah. If that's something that, you know, the group thinks would add value, we do something very similar with like instructors, kind of like dealing with like the trainees of like situations.
Mhm.
And it helps, you know, like it might not be that specific, but like what we were talking about earlier is like those little kind of like thinking on the fly and kind of knowing what to say depending on the situation is going to add value. Well, hopefully would add value.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. So the way we can do that is so everybody can prepare for a situation like that. So JC is saying, and chime in if I'm missing anything. You're working with the buyer, they're on the fence, maybe leaning towards renting because they want to save money because renting is cheaper than buying a house. And you're convincing them that it's a good idea to buy. So between now and next week, so we can open up the class with, or at some point next week, we'll break out into breakout rooms, and everyone will take a rep at being the buyer, and then the other person being the agent, and then we'll flip flop. All right. Is that, do you want to add anything else to that, to the scenario, JC?
No, sir. That was perfect.
All right, sweet. All right. Thank you everyone for coming. See you next week. I'll stick around a few more minutes if anybody has any questions they don't ask to the masses.